Welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay, Jimmy, you nailed it. You nailed it with your yay. That's the sentiment you should have.
Just the right amount of time.
Just the right amount of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you, guys. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Can't thank everybody enough out there for joining us this week again. Welcome back. If you're a new listener, welcome aboard. Get on the crazy train because it is about to pull away. And it's going cross country. Let me tell you something. This crazy train is moving. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. Lee Murray, that was by far one of my favorite stories that we've done.
What the fuck? I'm still
an insane person.
I can't believe it.
He's crazy. And by the way, guys, I have a Lee Murray tidbit for you guys. Stay tuned to the end of this story that we're going to get into here, our weekly lunatic, for a Lee Murray piece of information that is awesome.
I can't wait.
It's a little thing, maybe if somebody wants to correspond with him, we'll see. You never know.
Terrific.
We'll talk about it. But thanks, everybody, also for iTunes reviews this week. Thank you for interacting with us. We really appreciate it. Thanks for being on board.
It took up my whole goddamn week.
Well,
there was so many people.
Yeah,
so many
awesome.
tweets, and I had to. I just did. I feel like a shithead when I see one that's just hanging out there and I don't acknowledge it. So I like being able to talk to people, and there's so much though. It's pretty daunting. It's a daunting task to keep up with.
And we want more.
Yeah,
we love it.
Yeah,
just
no
thank
doubt.
you guys. Any help? Thank you guys. Thank you for spreading the word. We've had a very good week with listeners and everything, and thank you guys so much. We're going to do a little thing also this week. Right now, we're going to give. We have city and country rankings, so you guys can compete with each other, all right? Because I know you guys have gotten kind of territorial about it.
Yeah.
And number one city this week was London, England, of course. So London is our number one city every single week.
I can't believe that.
We have like 3 times as many listeners here in the States as we do in the UK. Just there's more people, basically. But London is our strongest city every week. They represent. God damn it, we love you, London, so much.
It's unbelievable.
New York number 2 this week, which is usually Chicago, but Chicago's distracted with the World Series going on and everything like that. And
they got other shit to worry about.
They got other shit to worry about. And the countries, too. We have U.S., U.K., 1 and 2. And then we have Australia just edging out Canada. So you
Way
guys
to
are,
go,
I mean,
Busby.
You guys are within 20.
Way to promote, buddy.
Yeah, you're really close, you and Canada. You guys are fighting it out. And our number 5 country this week was El Salvador, which I have no idea how El Salvador got into the game, but they are.
So weird.
You guys can compete out there for listens and get more listens coming from your home region. Please, we beg you. I don't know. We're trying here.
Yeah.
We depend on you guys, the crime and sports movement. You've done it so far for us. Thank you so much.
It's been amazing.
So thank you.
I can't believe it.
And to say thank you and to show you guys our love and gratitude.
Undying affection and appreciation.
We have a goddamn maniac for you this week. Just as a here you go, guys.
Yeah.
This is from us.
Thumb through this.
Thumb through this. This gentleman here. I didn't do a Halloween. We didn't pick a Halloween themed episode this week.
They're all Halloween. And
they're all scary. Yeah.
They're all dressed as normal people. But they're assholes.
Yes, this guy's costume he's a giant asshole dressed up as a basketball player in this particular case. It's
that's their Halloween costume is their fucking uniform.
It is. It's their uniform.
But underneath it all, they're a piece of shit.
And these particular guys, usually a jumpsuit from prison, an orange one, probably zipping up in the front.
DOC numbers down the leg.
Something like that. What Lee Murray wore into the ring, basically.
Right.
And tonight's lunatic is Darrell Allums. Now, a lot of you guys probably never heard of him. Jimmy, you ever hear of him before we brought this up?
Never.
I haven't either. He played a short-lived stint in the NBA.
All right.
And he's a crazy person that nobody knows about. These are the stories I love. We said it before. We could do Michael Vick, and we could do Chris Benoit, and we could do all the, whatever, all the stories you've heard a million times. But we kind of like finding the weird. And we'll get to all those, too. Don't get me wrong. We will get to those, and we'll do them our way. We'll really dig on them deep, and but we like these little weird stories of strange people you've never heard of.
The nuggets that are tucked away.
Yeah,
they're so fun.
That's what I like to look for.
You know what it might be? Because we have some of these guys we've never heard of.
Well, people like to discover.
Yeah,
that's
or
what
we've heard of them. We know they've committed a crime, but we don't know like the extent. I feel like it's being buried, and we are the little scumbags with the flashlights shining lights on these assholes. Yeah.
We're trying. Yeah. We do our best. We're not journalists. We're comics.
Right. You haven't heard about this because the NBA didn't want you to hear about it.
I mean, we do all we can. I break my ass. I do as much research as humanly possible with the resources that I'm allotted. I'm not a reporter. I can't go fly around the country
me neither.
and ask people questions and interview them and that sort of thing. I'm a comedian. If I happen to be where you are, maybe I'll ask somebody. Probably not, though. I'll probably just find the information. I don't really want to get involved that deeply with these people. But let's get into Darrell Allums, a former NBA player. He is Darrell Wilbert Allums.
Killer middle name,
Say it with
bro.
me now.
Yeah.
Junior.
He's a junior. Right, he is.
Joining our Junior Hall of Fame with such winners such as Eddie Johnson and Mel Hall. People like that. Carlton Dodson, I think, was a junior also.
These fucking idiots.
A ton of juniors, honestly, if I remember. But joining our junior lunacy here.
We have done, this is number 40, and I would venture to bet that there's at least 12 or 15.
I was going to say at least 25% are juniors, which is insane.
It's crazy.
Everybody. We'll say it before. We've said it before. We'll say it again. Don't name your kid after yourself.
Never.
Especially if there is any chance of that kid having even the slightest shred of athletic prowess. Don't name him after yourself.
Or the opportunity that you may leave.
Yeah,
Don't leave that kid wander around the world with your fucking name.
He will grow up, get famous, and fuck up and just destroy your goddamn name. So don't do it. Don't do it.
And that is your penance.
And that's your
deal
penance.
That.
And even if you were good, though, to them, like some of these guys, they had a nice upbringing. They are still disasters, And it's like, good God.
You deal with it because you deserve it.
Remember poor Stanley Wilson? His poor Bible-reading parents sitting on the couch going, what happened to Stanley? It just
hilarious.
It's awful. So Stanley, I almost said again. Darrell Allums here. He's born September 12th, 1958. Another Los Angeles kid, just like Stanley a couple weeks ago.
That city will ruin you.
LA, man. He grows up in Linwood, goes to Linwood High School. Not a lot is known about his early life, childhood. Apparently he had a stable environment, it seems like. Later on, his mother's still around. She's not on some walkabout like Carlton Dodson's mom or something like that.
Force him to go buy crack and
She's
stuff.
not making him buy crack like Keith Wright's mom later on. So he seems to have a normal upbringing. He's the school I saw his yearbook. I found the Linwood yearbook for his senior year, and I saw a picture of the basketball team. And he goes up to, he's 6'9" when he graduates, when he goes to college. So he's the center of the team. And
he's 18 years old, 6'9".
Yeah, and he's this giant black kid, and the other kids are way shorter, and most of them are much whiter.
Yeah.
So you can tell this is not a basketball powerhouse like inner city school.
Is Kevin Bacon their coach? Did he go?
Probably.
Is this the air up there?
He went and snagged him off out of the
from
plane
some fucking
somewhere.
Canyon village.
Yeah, that's
unbelievable.
But he actually leads Linwood High School to a 3A championship. I guess that's the level, the 3A high school championship.
It depends on how many kids populate your high school.
Yeah.
That determines how many A's you have, I guess.
Yeah.
And I only know that because I went to a 5A school. And
that's a bigger school.
Right, it was a big school.
So 3A in Los Angeles means you live kind of out.
Right, you're out in the sticks.
Yeah, because otherwise they'd cram as many people as they could fucking cram into there.
Tax dollars. They got to they got to stretch those things as far as they can.
Come on,
let's go.
Keep it moving. Put a funnel in and just shoot them through. He came into high school as a freshman. He was only 6'1". So think about that, because he must have come into school and he's only 6'1", and even if he liked basketball, it's not like they're like, "Hey, join the team. We need you." He's just the same height as a lot of other kids, I'm sure.
6'1" when he came into high school.
6'1".
In ninth grade. Yes. At 15 years old.
Yeah,
he was 6'1".
He's only 6'1", which was I was 6'3".
Were you?
In ninth grade? Yeah.
Oh my God, I was 4'8".
I grew 9 inches in the summer between 8th grade and beginning of 9th grade. Basically, I went from being kind of average to average and a little bit pudgy and sort of fat, I guess you could say, and then. 3 months later, I was 6'3", and I have not been able to gain any weight since then, no matter how much ice cream I fucking eat.
That's hilarious.
Exactly. I think he had a similar experience here, only stretched out over high school, and I never grew to 6'9", thank God.
I graduated high school at 5'3".
No, nice.
So what is that? That's 8 inches.
Yeah, that's not bad.
8 inches when you're 4'8" ain't shit.
No, that's not great.
That's not helping much.
You're hoping for more.
Yeah.
As a senior in high school, he was dominant as a player on the floor.
Really?
Averaged 18 points and 18 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
So you're averaging 18 and 18. That's strong.
That's pretty impressive.
You're looking strong. Like I said, in the 3A pool, though, who knows? There might have been like a 5 foot, or a 6'3" white kid trying to guard him, and he's 6'9", dunking on him.
They got no chance.
Yeah, he's very clutch too in high school. There's a story that one of his coaches tells about when they won the state championship. He went to the free throw line when they were down by 1. And he hit both shots to put them up by 1 to win the championship.
Oh, look at him.
That was the end of the game.
Pin rose on his nose.
Yeah, so he's got some clutch. So in that area, you would think the local colleges would see that and be like, we want that kid. He's a tall kid, 18 and 18, and ice water in his veins. He's draining free throws at the end. Yeah. So UCLA comes after him. Comes a calling.
Oh, how about that?
And they're in the 70s. UCLA now are, if you follow college sports, they're mediocre, but they're top 25 here and there, but they're not a powerhouse national championship in any sport really at the moment. I don't know about volleyball or something like that, but real sports that people pay attention to. They're not.
Sorry, volleyball players.
Hey, if you play volleyball, good for you. But there's not 40,000 people watching you for a reason.
Right.
There's a point to
there's
that.
no VBA.
No, so
or whatever it is, or NVA. I guess would be
the March. There's no volleyball March Madness.
Right.
That doesn't occur where people bet on it, have brackets.
Right.
UCLA was a powerhouse through the 60s and 70s. When John Wooden was their coach. Not a basketball. If you're not a college basketball fan, John Wooden still was. He's the most legendary coach in the history of coaching.
Kind of the shit.
Pretty much anything of any sport and any, in any.
He's their Bear Bryant.
Absolutely. And Wooden had coached there from 48 to 75, 1948 to 1975.
Wow.
That's how long he was there.
Damn near 30 years coaching college basketball. That doesn't happen.
No.
You don't stick around that long anymore unless you're Coach K or somebody that's just really great at what they're doing. That gives you an idea of what he did.
And from 63 to 75, they won 10 championships.
Holy fuck.
10. Think about it. Teams don't win 10 total ever nowadays. 10 national championships.
He's got a ring for each finger.
And including they went through a period there where they won 7 in a row. Just every year, they win the championship. It's ridiculous. So that's how dominant.
It's just Wooden.
No one's ever been more dominant in college basketball before or after, for that matter. Even more after,
Incredible.
not at all. But he leaves in 75, and 76 is when Allums comes into the program. So they're
the luck.
Oh, the luck. So they're in a bit of a transition period at this point. From having this legendary czar of basketball to now, some of his assistant coaches start taking over. Like Gene Bartow is his first coach. Allums has 3 college coaches.
Really?
Yeah, Allums he has 3 college coaches.
Wow.
That's terrible. In 4 years, 3 coaches.
You get 3 head coaches in 4 years.
It's unstable, basically.
A bit.
So he has Gene Bartow.
Can you imagine, when you're a college basketball player, that's essentially your father figure. That's the guy that
he recruited.
Can you imagine having 3 fathers in 4 years?
Well, in college, what they do is they come to your house and they tell you how
they talk to your mom.
You guys together are going to be a family and do great things.
Right.
And then they're gone, and there's just some other guy that shows up and is like, Jesus, it's like a stepdad that you didn't even meet first.
Right.
The mom didn't even bring him over for approval.
Right.
She just got married and he came in with a moving truck.
This is your father.
Yeah, U-Haul showed up with some guy and she was like, he's moving in, call him dad now. All right, moving on.
That's hilarious that we both take and give a woman that would do that to her children, that voice.
She smokes a few cigarettes, I feel like. And maybe
it's like
other
she's
things.
Watching Mary Tyler Moore. Some guy wanders in and goes, go clean your room. And you're like, who are you? And then she goes, respect your father.
She drinks cheap gin. You know the lady. We all know the lady we're talking about now. She's very sad because she played volleyball in college and no one paid attention to her. She's very upset with that. She's just upset. Gene Bartow comes in here and he does the first year of Allums college. He coaches him the first year.
Yeah.
He leaves though to create the athletic department at UAB, which is University of Alabama Birmingham, which they're a tournament team and everything. They didn't even have teams at that point.
Right.
He came in and built an athletic department, became their first coach. So I don't know. That was an interesting something for him to do, to leave UCLA. I think he just saw the writing on the wall. And also, Yeah, and also too, there was an investigation in 1976 that ends up getting dropped, but maybe he kind of smelled the smoke on that one and wanted to get out of the line of fire, possibly. But there's an article kind of about their disappointing 1975-76 season, their first without John Wooden. And the article, honestly, it's pretty boring. I'm not going to bore you guys with the details. They basically say they didn't win the title, and they always win the title, and it'll be a time of transition. But the thing that got me was this amazing sale at Kingsbury Tire. That's what got me in 1976. So if you're in L.A. and you're in 1976, stop by Kingsbury Tire for some dual steel radial truck tires are only $39.99 a pop.
$40 a tire.
You can get some compact car tires for $19.95 a piece. Ball joints are only $49.99, and Delco batteries are 25% off. And if you come in today, and I mean today, March 30th, 1976, you get a lube and oil change for only $5.88.
Wow, what a deal.
Also, from what I read, Delta Airlines is very excited to announce 35% off any round-trip ticket you made for pre-made purchase. So that's just something you want to do.
But that car that required that maintenance cost $3,000 brand new.
Oh, absolutely.
That's unbelievable to me.
We'll get into some car prices here in a moment, too. So 1976 here, this is the first time Darrell tries cocaine. Guys, surprise, cocaine's going to be a character in our story this week.
Why the fuck?
We've had a few of these. Late 70s, early 80s, boy, that was like...
I can't get over it.
In the 70s, it was like a magic elixir. Yeah. You know? They were like, you snort this. I saw an episode of Taxi a while back. Remember Taxi with Danny DeVito?
Right.
Okay. I saw an episode of Taxi because I'll sit and watch an old episode of Taxi.
Shit,
Fuck yeah. So I'm watching an old episode of Taxi.
Isn't it crazy how Danny DeVito actually, throughout his life, has gotten better looking? Like, when you look at that show, you're like, is that kid dying? Is he sick?
And Danny DeVito, by the way, in Taxi is pretty much what he is in Arrested Development. Always Sunny in Philly. Yeah. Just when he was younger. It's like the Frank character 30 years earlier.
With longer hair, same bald spot. It's so bizarre.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the coke. I'm watching Taxi, and Lotka gets his grandmother's cookie recipe. Lotka's Andy Kaufman, who played Lotka. He could be that guy.
I love him.
He basically gets this recipe, and this recipe are these cookies that everyone says taste gross, but they can't stop eating them because they're full of cocaine, right? And on the show, this is like mid-70s, this is like 77, I think this aired. They're like basically everybody's in the crowd is laughing. It's the studio audience is going crazy because they're like, you know, Louis like, well, what's this going to do then? You know, cocaine. And Jim there, Christopher Lloyd, as we all know, he's sitting there and he's like, well, you know, it makes you feel good and it makes you love everybody and it makes you do it. And he starts saying all these like positive things about it because that's all people thought it was back then.
That's unbelievable.
And everyone's like clapping and no one said like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a lot of side effects.
It'll also fuck your whole life up.
It will take your life, grab it by the arms, tear them off, and beat you over the head with it.
It will draw and quarter your life. That's what it will do. It will tie your hands and legs to 4 different horses and they go running in each direction. That's what cocaine does to your fucking life.
Especially if you're in the NBA, apparently. Because every guy we talk about that is in the NBA and likes cocaine, boy, their life falls apart very quickly. He likes coke right away.
Of course
obviously.
He does.
He's like, he's really...
It spoke to him.
It spoke to him. He likes it. Here's a little tidbit. On February 4th, 1977, Darrell plays in a JV. His freshman year at UCLA, he played part of the year on the JV squad, and he was playing other JV squads, and he plays in a JV game where he scores 25 points and gets 16 rebounds in this game. So he's looking good. You want to bring him on that varsity squad soon. The event was billed as, quote, beef barbecue and basketball doubleheader.
When the food is first billing, you are second billing to food.
And the food came first. You get this is what they did. You get a barbecue beef dinner that they served in the cafeteria at the gym at some junior college somewhere.
Oh my God.
You get a dinner, the barbecue beef dinner, and then everybody goes over to the gym and watches the game, and you get all this for $2.50.
What a deal.
That's a good deal.
That's a bargain.
You get a basketball game and a beef dinner
You get
for
a
that?
beef dinner, and then you get to go sit in a gym where everybody in the gym has eaten that beef dinner and is now shitting beef farts.
Beef farts everywhere. But you blend in. But this is like a 4-hour event. This is like a 4-hour event with food and entertainment for $2.50.
The smell in that room is if you could bottle it, I'd charge $2.50 for that bottle.
Oh man, I think you would.
Just
your
to
inventory
ruin
would
somebody's
stack up.
day.
I don't think anybody. It's Jimmie
It'd
Stink.
be like
Jimmy
prank
Stink
spread.
Juice. Come get Jimmy Stank Juice. Come on down now. It's the bottled concentrate of 5,000 barbecue beef farts. Y'all come on down here. $2.50 a bottle.
5,000 barbecue beef farts.
It's the
Barbecue
compressed-
beef farts, by the way, Lay's potato chips. They've been making all these new flavors.
Oh, yeah.
How did you miss that one, you fuckers?
Yeah,
That's what your chips smell like when you open the bag.
We want
Just name it
royalties.
that.
We want royalties on barbecue beef fart Lay's potato chips. We want it.
I love it.
So also, too, I found out from this article about the beef barbecue and basketball dinner that at this point in time, February 4th, 1977, you can get a 1977 Monte Carlo coupe for $109.80 a month.
Wow.
So not bad. Rush on down there.
Multiply that.
You can take
by-
that over to Kingsbury Tire,
Yeah.
slap some tires on it for a good price of $5.88 lube and oil. You got yourself a lean, mean 70s machine right there.
Multiply that by 60.
Oh,
And account for the finance rates and all that. That's probably a $4,200 car.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's what it should be. God damn it!
You couldn't.
I don't want to pay $38,000 for a vehicle
Yeah,
anymore.
you can't get a car.
And that's a piece of shit.
You couldn't get a car that runs for $4,500 now. It just wouldn't happen for $4,200. So on the court at UCLA in his freshman year, doesn't play much on the varsity, on the real team here.
Right.
Only 6 games. He scores up half a point a game, half a rebound a game. Just doesn't play.
Jesus.
18 total minutes played. So he's just not on the
he's like-
floor.
I
They
think-
just brought him in and said, here, sit down and get used to the bench.
Is it 11 guys on a team?
I think 12, but
12.
I'm not sure about the
So
college
he's like
roster. It might
the
be more.
last guy.
Yeah, and there was a couple. I think that's what they would do too. They'd bring them off the JV team, kind of like in baseball when you bring guys up in September. That get used to the majors in case you make the team next year. You won't be flustered by it. I think it's
Gotcha.
one of those things. He scores 3 total points, one basket and a free throw. It was his whole season there.
That's
so
depressing.
Not much, now 77 is they get a new coach, Gary Cunningham, and all these guys that have short tenures too. They all have good records. This guy was 50-8 in his 2 years there, so that's fine. Gary Cunningham. Now 77, we have there's this article in Sports Illustrated about that their UCLA isn't that great after John Wooden. And they're
they just realized that?
yeah, they're just it's not as going as well
Right.
now. They're decent but not
Did
great.
they expect them to rattle off 7 more
I
championships
don't think
with
so.
random
but
ass guys?
They seem surprised.
Right.
These articles were all like, they're not the same team since Wooden left. It's like, no shit, really.
You don't think he was the integral piece of the pie?
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
fuck?
I don't know. I think they just constantly
Jesus.
got lucky with the greatest alien players of the planet that no one ever saw before. So they say that this is great. They're describing Darrell Allums and some of the other players that were coming in, and it says how the major opinion of people watching basketball is that 6'9" sophomores Greg Sims and Darrell Allums are neither good enough nor tall enough to enable UCLA to win its 12th consecutive Pac-8 title. By the way, they were
At
Pac-8
6'9",
back then.
He's not big enough.
They're centers. Those
he
are
would
their
have
centers.
he would have to be 13 feet tall for them to win.
Yeah, no shit at this point. 77, he plays in 28 games, which I think is what they played back then.
Yeah.
4.6 points a game, 3.9 rebounds, 14.9 minutes a game. So just not playing much.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, that's all there is to it. He's a
Just
bench
gets
guy.
nothing.
He's a second-tier guy. 78, 79 is when Larry Brown comes in.
Oh.
Larry Brown, you might have heard of, Hall of Fame coach, coach of the Indiana Pacers,
right.
the
The
Sixers.
right. He had
Detroit. They
Allen Iverson.
won a championship with Detroit Pistons,
Yep.
if we remember.
That's right.
One horrible, mistaken year with the Knicks. The fucking Knicks. I'm not going to get into the Knicks. We're not going to talk about it.
One
It's gonna kill
horrible,
me.
mistaken year with the Knicks.
Yeah,
That's
he comes in and...
That is a painful reminder for you, apparently.
It just is. 78, 79, 28 games again for our buddy Darrell here. 3.2 points, 3.0 rebounds, so that tells you what we're dealing with there. 14.2 points a game, minutes per game, same thing. But he hits 30 of 33 free throws. So just a free throw machine.
Oh, my God.
That's Mark Price level.
Yeah.
That's like, you know,
if they had a
Steph Curry
designated shooter, he's it.
He's
That's
the
your
guy, which is weird for like a young center.
Yeah.
Young centers aren't usually your good free throw shooters.
I don't think of Patrick Ewing and Shaquille O'Neal when I think of amazing free throw shooters.
And the next year, though, his senior year, it goes right back down to like 60%. Like, I don't know what the hell. This guy is a complete flake. So 79-80 is when Larry Brown comes in. He plays in 30 games, Darrell Allums, this season, 4.1 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 12.3 minutes, 50% free throw or field goal percentage, which is good. When he's down there, he'll put it in and not fuck it up, basically. So good for you on that one. 1980 season, the UCLA team goes 22-10. And I'm talking so much about them because they end up going all the way through the tournament to the championship game. They get to the final game of the NBA tournament. Yeah, which is remarkable because they were only 22-10 in the year. They turned it on late. Allums was not really a part of this at all. He was a bench player, didn't do much. They lose to Louisville in the championship game. This was before they had all the problems that they have now with escorts and prostitutes, and we'll talk about it someday. I guarantee you we will.
Them and Baylor, I can't wait. Those two have got me riveted.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about Alex Fernandez later, but we'll get into that at the end of the show here. We'll get into that.
I've got so much.
We got a lot to say about that. We both have a lot to say about that. So, in the championship game, Allums only plays in 4 minutes. He plays 4 minutes, has 4 points.
In the championship game?
In the championship game.
That shows you how much they respected his ability.
And he's a senior, too. He's a senior, so you think they'd want him. It's his last game he's ever going to play in college. He plays 4 minutes. Eesh. Not a lot of respect for him there. But they take it as, like, what a great guy he is, too. His mother later on would say, his mother, Claudine Walton, would say, quote, "But Darrell wasn't the type of person to get down. There he was on the bench next to the coach cheering." So he's a team guy still. He's not playing. He's not sitting there sulking. He's not pulling a Scottie Pippen because they called. He's not doing that. He's cheering and going. I'm still going to want the team to win, but still, it's kind of sad. The whole
unbelievably sad. He's sitting on the bench because he's not playing. Obviously,
it's his last game in college. That's the sad part.
He's the cheerleader.
But he kind of deserved it because he wasn't very good. But we'll talk more about this. Now, I talk so much about UCLA because I want to get into a scandal they had while it was going on, while Allums was there, and it really came to a head the year after he graduated. It's involving a gentleman named Sam Gilbert. He is the silverest of silver-haired middle-aged white men you could get. He's the definition of it. It's almost like he made it his job description, where he put on his resume, first and foremost, he's like, facilitate athletes' fuckery, enable them, do
score coke,
do everything I can to society's detriment and my personal gain. That's what he basically does. He's a UCLA booster and general asshole. He's one of these guys who went to the school and hangs around and thinks it's his personal fucking duty to make things happen and give players things, and he wants to win, basically.
He has a closet full of UCLA shirts.
He has like 3 guys that he is like business partners with that went to USC that he wants to talk shit to.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what rich guys do.
He has toilet paper in his bathroom with USC's logo on it. He has UCLA shirts and hats and fucking visors. He has a visor. That's a man that wears a visor.
Oh, absolutely. They measure dick size and how many wins the college football team had the year before.
Betcha.
So that's what this is, and that's exactly who this guy is. He didn't even graduate from UCLA. He went there, never actually graduated.
Awesome.
In the 60s, early 60s, he makes a fortune, in the 40s, makes a fortune as a contractor back then, which means that people's legs got broken, as we've discussed in the past. That's contracting back then. In any major metropolitan area,
put toilets in for people.
Yeah, you had some connections to some bad people. Started hanging around the Bruins and the UCLA team in the early '60s, giving out apples and oranges to the players, like he's some kind of fucking team mom on a kid's soccer team or something.
Here's your orange wedges.
Who's got oranges this week? Who's got the oranges and the apples? Oh, it's Sam. It's Sam. Whose dad are you? Oh, nobody's.
Nobody's.
I got some apples for you. Yeah, I went to the school. Come on, guys, win. I got to show my dick's bigger than my buddy over here. Come on. So that's who this guy is.
Take your vitamin C.
Unreal, man. Did he take them out for pizza afterwards also?
no
He said,
doubt.
come on, guys, we're going out.
Pizza and ice cream
Only
on me.
one topping. Come on, guys. I'm not made of money here. I didn't make that much of a fortune in contracting. My mob connections aren't that
They
great.
only go so deep.
So deep. This is how silver-haired this man is.
Yeah.
He is known to the players as Papa Sam.
Oh my God!
How
Are you serious?
Silver-haired, middle-aged
Doesn't
asshole
get
can
any
you
better
get?
than that.
Papa Sam.
His nickname
Wow.
is Papa.
Papa Sam.
That's awesome.
He's in the fabric of the program all
Yeah.
through the 60s and 70s when Wooden was there. Now Wooden is supposed to be, John Wooden is supposed to be the pillar of upstanding. He's supposed to be like Cal Ripken,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
Or, George Washington. I don't know. Whoever your country's
Cal
version of
Ripken
an
is a good one.
upstanding
Yeah.
person is. You know what
Cal
I mean?
Ripken's about as solid as it comes.
I don't
He's
like
a
Cal
solid-
Ripken, but fine.
You know-
Yeah, you can hate me for not liking
He
Cal
can eat
Ripken.
shit.
I'm a Yankee fan. I'm just sick of hearing it, and he's not half the fucking... I don't care about... Sorry, we're going to take a sidetrack here. You want to talk about consecutive games played in a row? That's fine. Don't act like that was more impressive than what Lou fucking Gehrig did, because when Cal Ripken did it, not only did he have goddamn airplanes, he wasn't riding on fucking trains from city to
Right.
city, playing fucking day games. Play some day games, Cal. See about that. Not playing at 7:30 when you have time to get
Yeah.
therapy all day.
Play at 105, motherfucker.
And by the way, in the 20s and 30s, what the fuck is therapy? There is none. There's no therapy is tape, and here's a beer and a pack of Luckies. Smoke up, Lou. There you go. You feeling better? Those muscles starting to ache. What's wrong with you? Oh, you died. Cal Ripken's still fucking walking around. He's fine. He wasn't dying when he was playing, was he? No, Lou Gehrig was.
Lou Gehrig had to walk away because of it.
Right. Cal Ripken couldn't... Okay, I'm done with Cal Ripken.
I hope.
You can love
I
Cal
hope
Ripken
Cal
all you
Ripken
want.
gets ALS.
I think it would be very fitting. It would be very fitting. Very fitting. Then,
Yeah.
feel free to talk about it in whatever exalted terms you'd like to. But until then, Lou Gehrig is the Iron Man and the king of that
Yeah.
shit. Sorry, if you're not a sports fan, you still know who fucking Gehrig
We
is.
just wish disease on somebody. All
We
right,
did.
let's
Well,
move forward.
not really.
I did.
We
And I
did,
really believe it.
But it was Jimmie, the irony of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't us. It was the universe pushing.
It was Lou Gehrig.
It was Lou Gehrig from heaven, reaching his hand down, his crippled ALS-ridden hand,
Yes.
and placing it upon Cal's shoulders. You want my record? Fine. You also get my burden. Here, my friend. So, anyway, Sam Gilbert, back to him here. Nothing to do with any of these people.
Right.
He would have players over to his house for dinner and like big dinners and would, quote, just advise them. He was the big advisor.
What?
Yeah, he would negotiate. Listen to this. He would have guys who got drafted into the league, into NBA or the ABA back then.
Yeah.
He would negotiate some of these UCLA guys pro contracts for them because they didn't really have agents back
What?
then. And he would do it for just $1, for like no fee, just a $1 thing, just to help them out. That's
that's
how
a
much
bit scary.
That is what the
You
fuck
owe
does
that
that
man
guy
something
want?
after that, yeah.
That's some mob shit.
Yeah.
I'll help you out. No, you know what? You don't owe me a thing.
You don't owe me a thing. Unless you make the championship game and I happen to have some money riding on it.
Down the road, I might call you. You never know. But for now, don't worry about it. It's one of those. You know, wait for your phone to ring in a while.
One day I may ask you a favor, and that day may never come.
That day may never come, but it might. You never know. So former player, UCLA player, Lucius Allen said of Gilbert, quote, "There were two people I listened to. Coach Wooden, as long as we were between the lines. Outside the court, Sam Gilbert." So, I mean, that's Coach Wooden, who is
Yeah.
the pinnacle of godliness.
End all be all of
And
college
all be
sports,
all.
right.
And this fucking asshole. And this orange-wielding
Papa
douchebag.
Sam with an orange wedge.
Papa Sam with a basket full of oranges, flinging them to the 7-foot-tall people. Like they're like, we have food. They feed us
Right.
here at the college. So unbelievable.
We just played in a barbecue brisket steakhouse fucking
Yeah, weren't you
championship.
there? There was tons of
There
barbecue
was so much
beef.
food.
Oh, barbecue beef farts. You open the door, it's poured out like Cheech and Chong, smoking in a Cheech and Chong car. I'm telling
Everybody
you.
clam bacon asshole
Unbelievable.
smoke.
So we have remember the investigation I said in '77 that
Yeah.
I thought possibly had something to do with the one coach wanting to take a hike.
Right.
An NCAA field investigator was told to drop his inquiry into UCLA in '77. And personally, now that we kind of know behind the scenes how things work, I think it's pretty clear that they said, "Hey, asshole, if you find out they've been corrupt for the last 20 years, then our last 7 in a row champions, 10 out of our last 12 championships.
It all
That's
goes
all
away.
tainted.
Yeah.
That's all tainted. We all look like shit.
Right.
It all looks like ill-gotten gains. Let's just say that John Wooden's a god and everything's fine,
Right.
and he's not a silver-haired middle-aged white man, and he's not doing anything. It's fine. And the investigator said, quote, if I had spent a month in Los Angeles, I could have put them on indefinite suspension. So he was confident.
Wow.
You know, he hears shit, and he knew of the fuckery that was happening.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, and including this fuckery here, who found it was the L.A. Times. They
bastards are sneaky.
They found it all later. They did a lot of good reporting here. That these are journalists I like in this case here. They did an investigation piece interviewing dozens and dozens of program and former program people about Sam Gilbert and the whole culture there and what they were up to. Uncovered a ton of improprieties, including they called Gilbert in the article, quote, a one-man clearinghouse who enabled players and their families to receive goods and services, usually at big discounts, sometimes at no cost.
That is the definition, babe.
That's the silver-haired middle-aged white man charter right there. That's the charter. That's the one. They said he laid it down because we had the guy last week that was perfect too, or 2 weeks ago. This is right there.
So good.
It said even during the Wooden era, because this is from the mid-'60s when he came around with his basket, Johnny Appleseed over here, Papa Sammy Appleseed over here, flinging fucking apples out. Said that even during the Wooden era, Gilbert helped players get cars, clothes, airline tickets, and low prices for UCLA season tickets for, friends and buddies.
And they missed a key one that I guarantee is in there is Girls and Coke.
Also, co-signed for at least one player's car, and here's the kicker, or even arranged for players' girlfriends to have abortions.
Boom!
He
yes!
set up abortion.
That's awesome.
A basket of apples under one arm and a basket of coat hangers under the other. What the fuck is going on in UCLA?
That's awesome.
Gee, wonder why they didn't want this to come out with their, exalted godlike coach and all their championships. They have literally an abortion fixer over here. He's an abortion manager.
He's a monster.
He's a monster. He's
really
like, what do you
is.
need? A car, that, this girl, she's in trouble, it's all right. Drop her off at my house, I'll take her over to the place.
Responsible for basketball seed genocide. That's awesome.
Whatever. If a girl wants to do what she wants to do, that's her fucking business.
Please.
I don't care if you're against it for it.
No.
We're not getting into that with you guys. We don't care.
He probably saved a bunch of lives in the process of taking all those.
If this, with these psychopaths, a bunch of juniors running around, we don't want that. But this psychopath probably talking girls into it, and forcing them, and things like that, which is what I see, I got my girl pregnant, and he would go, that's all right, I'll talk to her, and he'd go, listen, honey, you don't want to ruin your life, do you? You're a pretty girl.
Right.
You're a pretty girl.
You're not, your whole life ahead of you.
This guy's not going to marry. You don't want that. Why don't you're going to ruin yourself. Nobody's going to want you. That's what he probably did
in
back
the 60s?
then.
Hell
that
yes.
would fucking work
Absolutely.
on it. That's insane.
You know what happens to you,
psychopath, yeah. Jesus Christ.
He's showing him the miracle of childbirth.
It's going to look like a wave after it crashes. Don't do it. You don't want to do it.
Here, have an apple.
Have an apple. Tell you what, why he had the oranges. He needed to get their strength up after their forced abortion. Jesus Christ, this Sam Gilbert guy's an asshole. Him I don't like
hate
at all.
him.
So John Wooden here, they got a quote from Wooden about this, and he's so waffling. He has a quote in a minute that's going to be infuriating. I always thought he was a great guy, and now I'm just like, I heard this quote, and I'm like, oh no. Not this one, but later. He says here, quote, maybe I had tunnel vision. I still don't think he's had any great impact on the basketball program, talking about Gilbert. I think maybe he's had some impact.
Quite a bit.
In December, enough impact to where in December 1981, the NCAA cited UCLA with 9 infractions, gave them 2 years probation, a 1-year tournament ban, and they had to vacate their 80 season. So,
that is steeper than the Penn State penalties.
For a lifetime of kid diddling.
Right.
This is worse.
Right.
This is worse.
40 years of kid fucking, and this guy...
They took away the year before when Allums was in the final. They're not in the final now. That's official NCAA record. They aren't there. They vacate all their tournament wins. The 5 that led up to the final game aren't theirs anymore. I don't know how. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. They take wins away from you.
Right, because they don't give it to the other people.
And the other people wouldn't want it. If you gave it to them, they'd be like, no, we lost that fucking game. No, we'll win a game, and then you can give us that win.
And then you can give us a trophy. We don't want anything outside of that.
Absolutely. So, yeah, they're on probation there and whatever. An LA Times reporter, Alan Greenberg, said, quote, Wooden knew about Gilbert. He knew the players that were close to Gilbert. He knew they looked to Gilbert for advice. Maybe he knew more. He should have known much more. If he didn't, it was only because he apparently chose not to look. So he's saying, fuck you, John Wooden, basically. Yeah. And here...
John Wooden is Joe Paterno.
And well, exactly. Like, he didn't do it himself, but if things were happening that were helping him inadvertently, it's fine. This middle-aged white man credo. If I can fuck everybody in society over, but it makes me win by 3 points,
I see them all sitting in a circle in black cloaks.
Oh, absolutely.
Saying that in the middle of the night.
Oh, my God.
With, like, chicken blood.
Him and Pete Rozelle and, like, all the different coaches throughout the year. Coach Pagone from Lawrence
If anything
Phillips.
happens that benefits us, we saw nothing.
It's okay. Yes. I'm telling you, they are. It's some sort of messed up secret society. I know it. I see it now.
It's a fucking skull and bones shit.
Of
basketball, of college sports.
College sports and God knows
Professional,
what.
all sports.
Of Nudnickery.
No
General
doubt.
Nudnickery. So Wooden in this 81 LA Times article with the whole expose of this thing, he says this quote that pisses me off royally. He says, quote,
Can't wait to hear it.
There's as much crookedness as you want to find. There was something Abraham Lincoln said. I'm going to pause here for a second. The second someone starts quoting Lincoln, I think they're full of shit.
Yeah.
That's just because you can't impugn Lincoln.
Right.
That's the thing. What are you going to be like? Oh, fuck Lincoln. You know what? That's a bullshit quote. If you quote, Roman Polanski, they could say he's a fucking child molester.
Right.
But if you quote Lincoln, people just have to go, well, yeah, Lincoln, it was smart.
He did free the slaves.
He did free the slaves. Exactly. So he said there was something Abraham Lincoln said. He'd rather trust and be disappointed than distrust and be miserable all the time. Maybe I trusted too much.
Oh, my God.
Wow. He acted like he was the victim. Maybe I trusted too much and they took advantage of me. No, you benefited.
Yeah.
That's why players went there. Well, that and you were winning a lot. But in the beginning, he said, I can get you cars. I can get you clothes, airline tickets. Your girlfriend knocked up. Take her over to my house. No problem.
We got a one-stop shop. Don't worry about it.
Car, airline. What we do is we get in there. We suck that baby right out. We stick her in a new car on the way to the airport. To fly off to get discount season tickets anywhere in the country at like 35% off on Delta on any round-trip flight that you want. I just saw the ad. You need tires by any chance? It's Kingsbury Tire, let me tell you. Okay, anyway. Yeah, this, unbelievable. Maybe I trusted too much. Yeah, and OJ loved Nicole too much, too. Fucking assholes. Swear to God, all of them. I'm so angry with this whole lot.
Holy shit.
Right now. So, finally, he's done with college. Mr. Darrell Allums here, not Sam Gilbert. June 10th, 1980, he's drafted by the Dallas Mavericks. The expansion Dallas Mavericks.
The worst team name in the history of the NBA.
Now, yes, we'll talk about how they got that team name in a second, too. Dallas Mavericks are, this is their inaugural season. So this is their first draft class. Yeah. They draft him with the 11th pick in the 5th round. So nowadays there's only 2 rounds of draft.
That's high pick.
That's way out there. Yeah, they're not expecting much from him.
Wait, 11 pick in the 5th round?
In the 5th round,
right,
he's down there isn't even 5 rounds now. They draft Kiki Vanderway with the number 8 pick, I think, over 11,
really?
number 11 pick overall.
That's awesome.
And he ends up not playing for them because he doesn't want to play for an expansion team.
Where did he go?
Denver, they traded him to. Later on, he played for the Knicks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that
Did he
was...
play for the Sixers and the Clippers, too?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He got around because he wasn't as great as they thought he was coming out of college.
And now he's a commentator.
When he was hot shit coming out of college. He wouldn't sign with Dallas, which made Allums make the team because they needed another forward.
Wow.
So they were just like, well, shit, we need a roster spot. We need to fill a forward spot. We'll take this 5th round guy.
He got it by default.
By default. That's it. And there was an article saying, yeah, Kiki won't sign, so Allums is going to make the team instead, basically.
Wow.
Like, they had nothing. They didn't care about him at all. He's the only player drafted behind him worth a shit, because I looked for I looked to see who they could have had rather than this idiot. And the only guy was this guy named Lorenzo Romar. I didn't know who he was. He played 5 years in the NBA with Golden State, Milwaukee, and Detroit. I don't know, but he was the only guy who played like more than one season in the league, basically. Yeah, and most of the guys didn't play at all in the league back then. And that was the year Kevin McHale was the the big star of that draft. He was number 3 overall by Boston.
That makes sense that they would trim the draft down when you've only got 12 players that make the fucking team
and
anyway.
There's more teams now, too.
What do you need fucking 5 rounds for?
You're not 5 guys aren't going to make your team.
No.
That's half your team.
Yeah.
You're not going to, you know what I mean? They're not going to redo half the team.
It's just breaking hearts every year.
Absolutely. So the Mavericks, they were awarded the franchise in 79. First year they played was in 80. Dallas used to have a basketball team called the Dallas Chaparrals.
Oh boy,
and
where'd they go?
They moved to San Antonio, became the Spurs in
Really?
73. So that's who the Spurs are, or that's who the Spurs were.
Yeah.
They named the Mavericks after the TV show Maverick.
Get the fuck out of here.
Starring James Garner, the 50s and 60s TV show. Swear to God, Garner was part of the ownership group, which was part of it, and
they named it. Thank God Lassie wasn't about yet.
Well, this is the other thing, too. They were chosen by fans in a mail-in campaign.
Their fans are that dumb?
This is how the Raptors for Toronto
That's
got chosen.
right.
It was because Jurassic Park was popular, and they had a fan vote, and the kids were like, I want the Raptors.
Yeah.
They're cute. So, or whatever.
They're cute.
They're deadly. I like them. They're cool. I don't know
They
what the
sound
fuck
bloodthirsty.
They're bloodthirsty.
Basketball, a blood sport. What?
So
Jesus.
So this was in a mail-in campaign. 4,600 postcards were sent into the Mavericks. This is a different time we're talking here where postcards are sent in.
Somebody actually spent money on a stamp.
Yep,
to vote.
stamped and a postcard.
Jesus. Yeah, and the postcard.
So the name Mavericks beat out Wranglers and Express as the two teams, which is, they named everything.
They were
Express.
just devoid of
no imagination.
Anything.
In the 80s, there was like 5 wrestling tag teams with the name Express. The LA Express USFL team, all Express.
Isn't there a WNBA team called the Express? I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably, I don't know. But 1980, he gets married after this, so things are looking up. He gets drafted.
Yeah.
He's in the NBA. Vanderway doesn't sign. He gets married.
Brand new team.
Things are not going to be going well for him for much longer, guys. I'm just going to tell you, we're in for a lifetime.
This is the pinnacle.
We'll say shit's about to hit the fan. There's someone standing in front of a large fan, an industrial fan with a big
Shaking
handful
off
of
signs.
shit. Shaking off signs, looking for the heater.
Yeah.
And he is going to deliver it in a moment, and it's going to be wall-to-wall shit in a second here. I'm telling you. Makes his NBA debut on October 11th, 1980.
That was my favorite just Monet painting we've ever painted, by the way. That was gorgeous. And it was about to be a Rorschach. That's fucking amazing.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
Trust me. Here comes the wave. It's about to crash. Sorry, ladies. So he makes his NBA debut October 11th, 1980 against the San Antonio Spurs, formerly what? The Dallas Chaparrals.
Oh,
I bet nobody fucking knew that out there.
That's fascinating.
That's why you come to Crime and Sports for that kind of shit and a whole lot of crime coming up. Allums scores 2 points in this game, so just a lighting up the world. Lighting up the world. I mean, you know, the kids were swooning and looking for autographs.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy that scored that one basket in garbage time.
That's what it was.
Probably. No, he didn't have any rebounds in the game.
No?
No, it was just 2 points.
It was just an assist, and he's wide open.
He was there
because
under
nobody
the
gave
hoop.
a
He's
shit.
like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I got the ball now, and he put it up. Only played in 22 games in the 1980-81 season for Dallas. 12.5 minutes a game, 2.7 points per game, 3
was
rebounds.
Was it an 82-game season then?
I think that's when they just moved it
Okay.
to, yeah. 3 rebounds per game, 2.1 defensive, 0.9 offensive, 1.1 assists, 0.2 steals, 0.4 blocks. I go through all of his stats because those are his NBA stats, period.
That's it.
That's it. We're not getting any more stats from him.
Done deal.
Because December 1st, 1980, he is waived by Dallas.
Yeah.
Gone out of Dallas.
Played a fourth of the season, and he was garbage.
That's basically what happened. Yeah, that's all he did. So he ends up, now for some reason, while looking all this shit up, there's a site called landofbasketball.com, and for some reason, one of their posts was a side-by-side comparison of Allums with NBA Hall of Famer Elgin Baylor.
What?
And I'm like, why are you comparing these two? And the comparison was ridiculous because it's like 14 seasons total to 1 season total, 12 playoffs to 0, 11 All-Stars to 0, 27.4 or 0.4 points per game to 2.7 points per game.
Why would they do that?
Like, who the fuck is comparing these two people? Why is that
no
on the internet
comparison.
anywhere? None.
Delete that page.
It's the stupidest thing I ever saw. I should have contacted the site administrator.
What are you doing?
What the hell are you, sir? I have a question for you.
How boring is your fucking life?
You're fucking about is what you're doing right now, and I don't care for it at all. At all. So, 81, he signs in the Philippines. like another.
That's where I go.
Yes,
Yeah.
like the country of the Philippines.
He has to play.
He goes and plays basketball. What the hell
He
else
does
is
not want
gonna
to
do?
sell cars.
No, he does not want to sell cars. And he doesn't graduate from UCLA either. That's the other thing. He goes all 4 years, but doesn't ever get his degree. He signs with the UTEX Wranglers over there. He goes from the Mavericks, who are almost the Wranglers, to the Philippines to a team called the Wranglers.
And it's also the UTEX. It sounds like
Texas. But you know what it is?
That sounds much more southern than the Dallas Mavericks.
It absolutely does. But you know why it was called the UTEX
No.
Wranglers? Because the owner, it was named after the Universal Textile Company that the owner of it owned.
Oh, Jesus.
All the teams over there are named after like corporate sponsors.
Wow.
They're like bad little league teams,
Yeah.
you know. Of the Philippine Basketball League, the PBL, which I couldn't make up if I tried. Allums led the league that year in rebounds with 495 total rebounds. So when he's jumping over tiny Filipino men, it's fine for him. Probably a lot of European guys over there too, and a few like washed out college players. Right. They had a lot of like guys who didn't get drafted by the NBA.
There's a couple of him over there.
Those 6th round draft picks where you go, they're not going to make the team. That's where they're playing. That's where they are. The owner was Walter Iyuang. He owned the textile company. He was apparently a huge character over there.
With that kind of last name, his parents chose Walter as his first name.
Walter.
Goofy.
So the teams in this league right now include the Meralco Bolts, the NLEX Road Warriors, the Phoenix Fuel Masters, the San Miguel Beer Men, and my personal favorite, the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters. I picture them just a team of Mexican painters going out no matter what.
They're out there in coveralls playing basketball.
One of my favorite defunct team name was the Toyota Super Corollas. That's my fucking favorite. The Toyota Super Corollas, because they're corporate sponsors.
Right.
And one of the teams right now, the Mahindra Enforcers, are coached by Manny Pacquiao.
What
the hell does Manny Pacquiao know?
Time?
What does he know about basketball?
Yeah.
He's 5'8", and I've never seen him play basketball. I've never seen his hands without gloves on, for Christ's sake.
But what if they're all crowding the lane? Fucking right cross.
I'm going to make an album, run for Congress, fight that guy, and then what the fuck? Let's run some wind sprints, guys. Come on, layup drills. Let's
Suicides,
go.
Let's go.
Let's do this. What are we talking about here?
You missed the game winner. You're running stadiums.
On these couple of years with the Mavericks and in the Philippines, we have our first in their own words for Mr. Darrell Allums, and it's a great one. This is, his what he has to say about his pro basketball career up to this point. It's in their own words, quote, "I was introduced to freebase cocaine.
Oh boy,
that was the worst mistake I ever made in my life. It would later be my destruction."
Yeah.
And it would.
Yeah.
And it will. It's not even later. It's very quickly.
You should have known that right away.
Yeah. 82, he leaves the Philippines and signs with a club team in Puli, I don't know, Switzerland. Mm-hmm. He goes and plays in Switzerland, signs a 2-year deal over there because he was ripping it up and led the league in rebounds over there in the Philippines. Right. So they sign him in Switzerland, 2-year deal, plays over there for about 18 months. Does really well. Mm-hmm. He's clean at this point, too. He later on says this was a clean period. I don't know if you just couldn't get cocaine. I don't know how much crack they had in Switzerland in the early 80s. Right. You know what I mean? So how many freebasers there were over there. So halfway through his second season over there in 83, tears up a bunch of ligaments in his right knee.
Oh, no.
Back then, you couldn't just fix a knee like you can do now in 1983. So he's done. Can't play ball anymore. He's injured. He has to come home, retire. The team is paying him for another 6 months, so that's a good thing. They don't
even do any surgery just to fix it. They just tell him, get the fuck out of here.
I think they might have did some kind of surgery, but they were not enough to where he could play anymore. And he was marginal anyway. Yeah. So you take some spring out of his step, and back then a knee surgery would knock you down.
All the spring out.
Yeah, it would knock you down some. That would you'd lose a step, guys.
That's all your springs. They're all gone.
Look at Mickey Mantle. He was a base stealer, and then he hurt his knee in his rookie year, and then he wasn't a base stealer anymore. It was the end of the deal there. So on overseas playing, we have a nice in their own words, and this is him at his nicest here. Yeah. This is a well thought out statement that he wanted to represent him well in the public. This is non-crack here. He's not on crack when he makes this statement.
This is a non-clouded statement.
Yep. They asked him how he liked playing in Switzerland, and he said, quote, in their own words, quote, "I enjoyed it immensely. It was an opportunity to travel abroad and see another culture. The basketball was competitive, and you were appreciated for your talent." Oh. That's just, what a good guy, right? That's a smart PR. That's a smart PR statement right there. Anybody would think so. Now, 83, 84, he moves back to Los Angeles and is forced to take a job as this is after 6 months when the team's money runs out and he starts to get broke. He takes a job in the mailroom of a Los Angeles appliance manufacturer.
Oh, no.
Because he didn't have a degree either.
He's the Maytag man.
Not even. He works in the mailroom.
Yeah.
They don't even trust him with the washing machine. They don't even trust him going out to fix a flywheel. He's got to stay in.
Yeah, he gets the Maytag man's mail.
Yeah, and sorts it.
That is
and drops
brutal.
it off at desks and cubicles. He makes his salary for this $10 an hour.
Yeah.
Which in 83, 84 wasn't like $10 an hour now, but it's still not great for if you were playing professional basketball
$20 grand
a year ago.
Year.
Yeah, if you were playing pro ball a year ago, that's not okay for you.
No.
You're not liking that. Now, we have it in their own words on his mailroom stint here.
He actually spoke about it.
He did. He spoke later on, trying to act like this was later on when he was summing up everything, trying to make it come together nicely.
Yeah.
He said, quote, in their own words, "I wasn't really satisfied with what I was doing, but at the same time, it was a situation that was convenient." Was it on his fucking bus route or something? What is?
Right.
Do you not have a 7-year-old Jaguar like Stanley Wilson that he could get to place to place with? It was close by. They don't drug test. That's a plus. I like that. That helps.
I don't have to do shit but walk and grab things.
So he's doing that. He's trying to get by as a regular person. Not going so well because in 1985 he checks himself into a 21-day detox program for drugs, obviously. Everyone said that as soon as he got out of rehab, he went in, he was kind of a mess, got in, 21-day detox and rehab program, whatever they had in 1985. Gets in there. They said as soon as he got out, his drug problem just 100 times worse. Just just as bad as it could be. He said he got out and it was like just lit the room on fire. Whoever was holding the shit clump just let go of it. 98 miles an hour toward the industrial fan. Boom. Tell me what you see in this picture.
I got to go to
a disaster.
28 days worth of coke right now.
Unbelievable, man. 86 is now his life starts to unravel. He separates from his wife of 6 years. Remember, he got married in 1980. That was only 6 years ago where he was drafted into the league, into basketball, be a professional basketball player. Just came from this most storied college basketball program in the country.
Yeah.
He's doing well. He gets married. Things are going great. Now he's losing his mailroom job and losing his wife and
he's
going to
losing
rehab.
the job of housewives writing letters about their piece of shit whirlpool
And being angry about it.
Right, and he's got to just deliver that to the guy that's got to deal with it.
He's like, fuck, I can't even open those anymore. I really want to see what's going on with those Maytags, man. Yo, the washers, man, they were messed up. I wanted to help. So, yeah, he at this point, he breaks up with his wife, moves in with his girlfriend, and she must have been a peach, this one, because they seem like the perfect couple. They spend the woman's, they move in together into a $5 a night motel room in Linwood. First of all, he's back in Linwood.
He's back in California.
He's back in Linwood, specifically.
Yeah.
Did we tell you? Guys,
Right back home. Right back to the scene of the crime.
Don't move back home. Never go back to your hometown.
No.
Go somewhere where you don't know anyone, live in the street. It's
Stay
better.
away from familiar shit.
It's better than moving back home because you will get in trouble. He moves back, $5 a night hotel, which is odd because they say that they spent the woman's, and they quote it as saying a substantial bank account that she had on drugs. Yeah. Now, why did they move into a $5 a night bank account if she had a $5 a night motel room? You would end up in a $5 a night one after 2 months.
You work down.
Right. You start off, nothing fancy. Get a Red Roof Inn or something. Just something.
Maybe they looked at that substantial amount and were like, we can make that last on coke if we live menially.
More crack.
Right.
More crack. This is great. Okay, we're going to move into the shithole. Just piles of crack. Right. Every day. Maybe they had a jar. This is our motel savings money. And every day they took that out and bought crack with it. Like people were putting smoking. So they spent that, and I don't. Also, too, it's $5 a night. Unreal.
That's got to be a piece of shit.
Absolutely. So they blow through this woman's bank account. So now he's got a coke problem, no job, no wife, no career, no degree. Yeah. Shit's not going well, clearly, at this point. Nice. So where do you go from here?
Fucking to jail.
To jail, because in 1986, Allums and a friend both need drug money, so they start scheming to steal things. So now they start robbing places. They start out small, and they end up really, the thing they get into is stealing shit from Target. Yeah. Target stores, I don't know if they have Target in other countries. It's a big department store that has everything.
It's one step above Walmart.
Yeah, it's better than Walmart.
Right.
It's where, if you're too attractive for Walmart, you go to Target, basically. So They start stealing like high-end, like electronic type shit from Target. That's their
VCRs.
That's their game for crack money. He steals a radio for crack, which is even worse.
A clock radio or like a boombox?
That's more 80s than this VCR. Even the VCR is like high-end 80s fuckery, like Eddie Johnson and Stanley Wilson. So July 21st, 1986. It's bad when we know the exact date. At a Target store in Southgate, a store security guard sees Allum take both a radio and a camera and tuck them into his wristband.
You're 6'9", sir.
You're 6'9".
Jesus.
This is what I don't understand.
You grab attention right away.
You cannot be if you're an NBA player, and especially if you're a center, you can't do illegal shit.
No.
You'll get caught. Look at Tom Paine. He was going around going, "It wasn't me.
Right.
You're a giant." How many 7'1" rapists are walking around the neighborhood? None. Just you, sir.
It's
Only
you.
Also, a junior, I think. Also, Tom Paine, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was.
But unreal. So that's what I mean. He's the most conspicuous person ever.
So dumb.
You could just walk down, the aisles come about 6'6".
Right.
Your fucking head is poking above. Right. They see you if they're not even in the aisle with you. They can see you
looking both ways to make sure the coast is clear, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this security guard who sees him looking both ways sees him tuck the camera and a radio into his waistband. And so the security...
He's so big he can tuck a radio.
A radio. It's probably a boombox. Right. You just put it in there.
One of those ones they used to carry on their shoulder, and he just jammed it in his waistband.
And he's gained a lot of weight, too, by this point.
God,
now he's 275. He's 6'9", 275.
You can't tackle that
big guy. No, they let him leave the store with the stuff. They watch him leave the store. They call the police.
Yep.
The police were able to find him pretty easily in the neighborhood because he's the only guy who's 6'9" walking around.
He's the guy that's the size of a refrigerator.
Yeah, whatever shirt he had on, he's got a red shirt. He's 6'9". He'll be the only guy out there that's 6'9". You shouldn't have too much trouble finding him. He's enormous. Can't miss him, especially back then.
Right.
So 1986 robbery, this particular one from the Target, the police pick him up. He ends up pleading guilty to burglary on this. So he's smart, at least he pleads.
Burglary.
They got him on burglary, because I guess he was intending to go do it.
But they didn't have shoplifting back then?
I don't know.
That's fascinating.
But that's what he pleads to. So maybe that was a compromise between robbery and, you know what I mean? And some misdemeanor thing. They said, how about burglary right in the middle?
Yep.
So he spends 53 days in county jail for this. Which, that's nothing to... That's something.
In county, 53 days, that's over a month. That's almost 2 months in county.
That's nothing compared
Just so you know, overseas, county is a shithole. That's where you sit and wait on your sentence for prison if you did something really bad. And it's where you go for a longer bid like this when you do something stupid like this.
He spends a lot more time there later on. We'll get into that. But he spends that time. He's placed on 3 years probation in 1986. And he has to submit to regular drug tests. Mm-hmm. He's got to stay clean, Jimmie. He's going to stay. He's good now, right?
I believe in him.
He's good now. He stole some shit, the radio. He's fine. He's not fucking about. He's ready to do his thing. Within the first 6 months of probation, he fails 4 drug tests.
In 6 months?
4 drug tests positive for cocaine between late 86 and early 87.
Every 45 days he's taking a drug test.
Every month.
And he's failing.
He's failing one, 4 times already. So the night after his 4th positive
60%,
test... 60%
of his drug tests are dirty.
Unreal, right?
What an idiot.
This guy gets dumber and dumber and dumber. We haven't even scraped this dumb surface.
If you don't believe that drugs kill brain cells, please pay attention. He's fucking stupid.
He's stupid. So the night after his 4th positive test, he is out driving. First of all, how is he out?
Yeah.
He's on probation. It's his 4th test. Put this fucking idiot in jail already.
Put him in prison.
So anyway, he's driving through Inglewood. He ends up on 99th Street is where this whole thing happened. He pulls his car over to a curb where there's some guys hanging out, tries to asks for 2 $20 crack rocks from the guy. He's trying to buy some crack. The guy gets him the crack, obviously, because that's what he does. He's on the whatever. He hands him Allums the crack. Allums handed him back some wadded up newspaper and drove off quick.
Oh, no, you don't do that,
You don't do that instead of money. So,
wadded up newspaper.
Never good to burn drug dealers, first of all, but it's even worse if that drug dealer is an undercover cop, because that's who it was, undercover cop.
I mean, technically, he didn't buy anything.
Yes, that's true. He didn't purchase anything unless newspaper is currency. Unless the cop can convince, hey, newspaper's currency to me. I'm okay with that. So he's arrested, obviously, because they see him drive away. They go chase him down. He's arrested. He's charged with cocaine and a probation violation. Possession of cocaine, obviously, probation violation. He is released on his own recognizance, which I don't know why. He can't pass a goddamn piss test. I don't know why you're going to put him back into the world. Hearing date set for April 1987. Now, also in 1987, in March of 87, I believe, Sam Gilbert, our buddy, our silverest of silver-haired middle-aged white man,
our enabling son of a bitch,
is indicted by federal prosecutors for racketeering and money laundering. That's some hardcore federal shit.
That's how connected that fuck was.
Only thing is, they didn't know it, but 4 days before they filed these charges, he died. So he never had to face shit.
Wow.
He went through his whole life, didn't even know they charged him. He died peacefully. They charged him when we're finally going to get this prick. Yeah. Bring him in. Fuck. He died. I just pictured do you want his cadaver, or do you just want his death certificate? That's it. I just picture in a movie, they make the call. All right, it's finally there. The warrant's in. Go get him. And he's like, all right. Smash cut to 2 agents standing at his funeral while Amazing Grace plays. And
they release the doves.
His widow and his children are crying, and they're looking at each other like, motherfucker. I totally see that. Yeah. So April 87, he's supposed to have his hearing for the last thing here. And some interesting things start happening around Torrance, Long Beach, and Gardena areas of California. Domino's pizza delivery men start to get robbed all over the place, left and right.
Was it by a 6'9", 270-pound dude?
It's weird because in each case, a man calls the Domino's Pizza at all different locations and orders the same thing, a small pizza and a 6-pack of soda. That's his order. Same order every single time. When the driver would arrive at the address, no one would be at home at the address, or it would be a vacant house, and they would instead be accosted and intercepted by a, quote, very tall robber with either a knife or a screwdriver, depending on the day. I don't know. He had to hawk his knife for crack sometimes, and he'd get a hold of a screwdriver.
Break into a fucking mechanic's locker or something.
Yeah, so you figure that might happen once or twice, right?
Yeah.
How about 13 times over the next 2 months?
Wow.
13
He's got a racket
times
going.
This is happening.
He figured something out.
He's like, this is what he does for a living.
This is the smartest thing he's done.
He's like, fuck it, this is my job. He's like, it's 9 o'clock, shit, let me call done. Yeah, I need a small pizza and a 6-pack of soda. All right, honey, I'll be back later. And he kisses her and gets his lunchbox and goes.
This is before email and corporate communications, obviously.
Yeah.
Because if you're a Domino's delivery driver, you should know, by the way, small pizza 6-pack.
Don't deliver that.
Don't deliver that, or call the cops and have them escort you.
Or bring
to that
3 guys with you if you're going to do it. So this happens that many times. The messed up thing is he would take their money pouch that they kept and the soda, but not the pizza.
Oh, Jesus.
He'd take the soda. He'd say, give me your money and I want that 6-pack of soda.
6-pack of Pepsi.
I don't want the pizza. Is he lactose intolerant or what?
He's got a gluten allergy.
He's got a little gluten allergy. He's a little uncomfortable. I just get upset down there. I don't want it.
It gives me some acid reflux, but I'll take that Sprite.
Yeah, so that's 13 robberies happen, and now in June 1987, a 14th is attempted. A Gardena Domino's delivery driver is robbed. That was the 13th robbery. He's robbed. His name's Anthony LeBlanc. And a few nights later, somebody calls that Domino's and just orders a small pizza. Not the 6-pack, just a small pizza to be delivered. Yep. LeBlanc, the delivery driver, recognizes the voice on the phone because he's not an idiot. Because you recognize the voice of the guy that robbed you, the giant monster who robbed you with a screwdriver. Yeah. So he recognized him as the same voice of the guy who robbed him 3 days ago and said...
3 days later, he tries it again at the same Domino's.
Same guy. Same guy. And the same driver answers.
And the driver answers the phone and takes the order, too.
And the problem is, he can't just... He's not sure. What if it's just some guy who sounds alike, and he orders a small pizza, and he's like, fuck you, man, I'm going to call the cops. And he's like, what the fuck? He calls and complains to his manager. LeBlanc's getting fired at that point. So he's got to, feel it out.
Unless Allums has the voice of a recognizable Christopher Walken.
Something like that, yeah. I would like a pizza. It is very... So
give me a pizza. I don't do it.
I don't do it with Christopher Walken either.
I tried very hard there.
I'm terrible
and then
at it.
The second I said give me,
impressions.
I was like, don't do that.
Yeah, let's cut this off right now.
Fucking abort.
No, let's abort. Where's Sam Gilbert? We need an abortion now.
Sam Gilbert to
Somebody
abort this
needs
Christopher
to abort
Walken impression.
That would be something he'd be good at. So LeBlanc takes another employee with him to the address to scope it out. He says, come with me, let's go scope it out. We won't pull right up. We'll kind of hang out down the street and scope it out like we're Omar on The Wire here. And so, they pull up to the address and they see the same man who robbed LeBlanc sitting outside the address in a Datsun 280Z, just sitting out there waiting all cracked out.
Car.
He's got a car. Yeah,
That's a fun car, too.
It's probably his Jaguar, basically. He still had it from back then. They call the police, and say the guy's in this car, whatever. The car is, of course, traced back to Allums because it's his fucking car that he takes to do a robbery because he's not very bright. And on June 22nd, 1987, he's arrested for 14 robberies of Domino's delivery drivers and held in county jail in lieu of $100,000 bail. So they're not messing around at this point. $100K bail they want now. He's charged with all of them. And so at this point, okay, Jimmie, I'm going to ask you, and listeners, everybody, crime and sports movement guys.
Hold on, before you get to this.
Yeah.
That LeBlanc character...
He's smart.
Who can't keep his life together, or maybe he's a young kid, he's just starting.
He's probably a college kid.
He's a pizza delivery driver. I hope that kid is a fucking detective today.
Oh, yeah, he's smart.
Because he is a genius.
He's either managing the Domino's or something, but he's
better
smart.
have some sort of accommodation for that.
They should have gave him a promotion for that. Yeah. Get him off the streets, this guy. Yeah, come on. So what do you do at this point, Jimmie? And anybody out there listening, you've been arrested. Mm-hmm. You're in jail. You're facing serious charges. 14 basically charges of strong-arming money from delivery. This is a serious charge. We're looking at prison time.
You're in a lot of trouble.
You're in a lot of trouble. What's the first thing you do?
Cocaine.
Well, no. You're in jail. There's no cocaine. What's the first thing you need to get together?
Call my mom and apologize.
And have her do what for you?
Help me out. Get me a lawyer.
Get me a lawyer. Thank you. Everyone out there, whatever country you're in, I don't know how your system works, but if you're in I don't know if El Salvador is like some sort of, third world nation where they just pull you in front of the Presidente and he decides what to do with you. I'm not sure. But here you need an attorney. Yeah. Allums, he should do this too, but he's such a bright guy. You know who he gets as his attorney?
Oh my God.
Himself. He fucking represents himself like he's Ted Bundy. This doesn't ever end well.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's where I was going, is that
never
in the history of criminal law has anybody represented themselves and been like, that was a good move.
That was good. No, you are never going to explain your way out of it, ever.
You don't know fuck about law.
That's the other thing. He's not even a college graduate. He knows nothing. Jimmie, look at us, okay? I study a lot of crime stuff. I know how many episodes of Law and Order have we seen. I read true crime books and actual books of case law and shit. Right. I'm really into this stuff. Right. I have to be for this so I can interpret things, and I would have no clue. I'm smart. I would know more about this than the average person. I would have no idea where to start in representing myself in hardcore robbery charges that have prison time attached to them. I wouldn't argue my way out of a parking ticket. No. I'd want somebody there to help me with it because I don't know how to do that. This guy, I got it. I'm good now. No problem.
I'm finding the best lawyer that I can afford.
You know
That's
what?
It is.
I'm in jail. I can't smoke crack. Got a lot of time on my hands. I'm going to do this.
I'm going to start reading books.
He conducts months of pretrial discoveries. He's a complete pain in the ass about it, too.
Oh,
issues dozens and dozens of subpoenas for police reports and robbery investigations for all this shit. He actually is a real pest and a pain in the ass. If he had focused
this kind of attention to basketball, maybe he'd have fucking stuck around.
When he was at UCLA, he maybe could have done something with that.
Well, they have one of the best medical centers in the country.
Well, he contends that after researching all of these reports, he contends that it couldn't have been him that did the robberies because there's still robberies going on and he's in jail. They didn't accuse you of being a Batman villain that was causing all the crime in the city. Just those ones.
There are no more Pizza Huts and Domino's being robbed, sir.
No more giant people with screwdrivers are robbing drivers. But
costing
he was
a guy with a small pizza and a 6-pack of Sprite.
Unreal. They weren't charging you with all of the crime, just 14 of them. That's it. He's challenging the identifications of the drivers. He's saying that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Meanwhile, you're pretty sure you're going to see this guy. Right. It's pretty striking. He's in jail. He gives an interview from jail saying that his basketball career seems far behind him. And, just the basic sob shit.
I can imagine.
He says that, this is while he's awaiting his trial because he awaits in jail for about 21 months. He's in county jail for 21 months awaiting his trial. He's filing all sorts of motions and
we were
discovery
talking about
shit
being
and delays.
in county for 53 days, being hell. This is almost 2 years in county.
And it's his doing because he's filing, he's getting stays and he's filing shit. And he's,
you know what he's doing?
crazy.
He's trying to get as much time served credit as he can, I feel like. He thinks
That's
he's
the
going
other
to get
thing, too.
5 years, get 2 years time served. And
he says that the backboard, there's backboards but no rims on the hoops at jail, so he can't play anyway. And he says that he's just embarrassed and disheartened to even be there. But he denies any involvement.
Backboards and no rims?
Yeah, they were ripped down, the rims. People ripped them off and they never
makes
put them
sense.
back up. Yeah, like a shitty park.
Some gangster dunks it and rips the rim off.
Yeah.
You're like, that's the game.
That's it. All right. So
now we're playing half court.
And there's no like cop there going like, I'll go get another one. I'll be at Sports Authority. I'll be right back. So March 2nd, 1989, the trial begins. They're expecting it to last in the neighborhood of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's on trial for 14 robberies. Opening statements are made by both the Deputy District Attorney, Julie Sulman, and, of course, dipshit Darrell Allums, acting as his own attorney, making opening statements.
I wish I could have seen this trial.
Sulman told the jury, she's the district attorney, that, quote, a very tall black man confronted Domino's Delivery's employees as they tried to deliver to homes in Gardenia, Long Beach, and Torrance and other communities and were
What
robbed.
year was this?
The robberies were in 87. The trial was in 89.
This is
March
more
2nd,
riveting
89.
than the court TV.
Yeah, this is great. This would have been hilarious.
Amazing.
Much better. Yeah, much
So
more stuff
great.
going on. Sulman said that he would take the driver's cash pouches, like we said, usually leave the pizza. I think once or twice he took the pizza. Must have been real hungry.
Yeah.
Or he said, hey, I'm going to go out. You want anything? And they said, pick up some pizza. And he went, no problem.
Yeah, I can handle that.
I got that. Don't worry about it. So Allums now is alleging he is the victim of both faulty identifications by the delivery men and, on top of that, moreover, even more, a vindictive police investigator, quote unquote.
They've got a vendetta against you.
Against you, a dipshit. So he had in his opening statement. Here's an in their own words from his. This is our first in their own words from an opening statement because they thought they were a fucking lawyer. No one else we've done some dumb people.
Yeah.
No one else was dumb enough to act as their own attorney.
That's a great point.
Even Superfly Snuka knew to dummy up, shut the fuck up, and let Vince McMahon handle it.
You talk.
You take care of this. I'm stupid. I didn't graduate. Shit. You have $1 billion.
Matter of fact,
you take care
I'm
of this.
so stupid that I don't even speak right now.
I don't know English. That's what he should have done.
Yeah.
I don't speak English. No
What's
idea.
English?
No clue. No
I played in the
speaky.
Philippines
Sorry.
so long I speak Filipino.
Absolutely. Filipino, or whatever they speak over there. So his opening statement, in their own words, quote, I am not a robber. I am innocent of these crimes. That just sounds
Actually,
very...
so you're a burglar.
Actually,
Convicted.
yes, you're more of a burglar. Yeah, that was your... So... 8 in the trial, 8 delivery drivers in total, ID Allums. Allums acts as his own attorney, like we said, like a lunatic. He's convicted on 8 counts of the 14. The jury was deadlocked on 6 of them, so the judge dismissed them because I guess there was whatever. 8's enough.
It's fine.
They said 8 is enough. It's a show. Don't worry about it. So
we do everything on TV shows.
Fine.
Now. We name basketball teams and we convict people.
8's enough. We're the Express. Moving on. Fuck it. So, sentencing April 3rd, it comes out that sentencing for the robberies is delayed at the request of Allums for some reason. I don't know why he wants to do whatever. On April 3rd, 89, there's an article about him waiting for sentencing, and it's about his mother having a news clipping, hoping that the judge takes mercy on him. It's a news clipping of him in his UCLA uniform, and, blah, 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 and she's so worried, and she didn't...
Check and see if all your news clippings are there, because he may have taken a handful of them to go pay an undercover cop for coke.
Oh, yeah, you never know. That's highly possible. He faces 13 years in prison total, that's no joke right there.
That's steep.
So at this point, I mean, look at this shit. It's a mess. He's in jail. His mother's got a thing
He's got
here.
an ex-wife whose life he ruined.
He's sitting in his cell once again. I mean, where's he going to go from here, Jimmy? Where's he going to go?
Down.
I mean, down.
That's it. That's
he's going to get
bottom,
a little
right?
hungry. He's going to get a little hungry.
Check if the chow hall has some shawarma.
He's going to bust in there, and then there's going to be the shawarma man, and he's going to say, how is it you've come to arrive here? Huh? Why are you here? Why you come here? You go to college, you do a decent defense, you come anyway. Why are you here? Huh? Signs say closed. You come. Why? You want shawarma? I make for you, but why? I don't know why. I keep cocaine away. I have problem. I don't want the cocaine. I don't know why.
I do not take newspaper clippings.
I don't know. And then out of nowhere, there's a knock on the door, and they open it, and it's the Mexican pimp. And he's standing there, guns blazing, and he says... How is it you've come to arrive here? Huh? How is it? How is it you've come to arrive here?
What are we doing?
Shawarma man comes over and he says, "Hey, why you here? Sign sick clothes. You knock on my door?" No, I tell him why.
Put the gun away.
Put the gun. I'm not scared of you, okay? You don't know where I come from. You don't know my life. Shawarma man been through a lot, okay?
Yes,
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid Lee Murray. I'm not afraid you either. I don't care. He says, so then eventually they make an agreement, and the pimp says, I understand. I understand. I'm on your territory now. I go away for a while. I have things to do, but maybe we could compromise. And they get together and they decide that sometimes it'll be the shawarma man, sometimes it'll be the Mexican pimp, depending on the situation.
Had a little mix up on this one.
They shook hands. The pimp poured a shots for each of them. Shawarma man shaved off some lamb. I make for you. You want lamb? I make for you. And they ate in peace, and it was beautiful right there. And that's really the key to this story, Jimmy, the beauty between these two men loving each other.
Compromise.
So anyway, at this point...
Jesus Christ, that was fun.
So anyway, at this point in this insanity, in this article, his high school coach from Linwood, a silver-haired, middle-aged white man as they come, Bill Notley, says that he never thought this of alums, and he still doesn't believe it. He's seen his share of troubled teens. He called them bandits, which I think is insane.
I like it.
And he said that alums was not one of them. He said, quote, he never missed practice, and he loved basketball. He would practice for 3 hours and then would stay afterward. He would go play 3-on-3. Well, that means he didn't rob anybody because he loved basketball. Okay.
Because he plays 3-on-3.
He played a 3-on-3. Said he was a B-plus student, which is, he seems smart, actually, he's decent with the legal briefs here. Now, alums at this point sends the judge an 11-page handwritten letter, which I scoured. I spent about 4 hours trying to find this goddamn... I wanted this letter so bad.
Oh, it's so verbose, I guarantee.
It's begging for mercy and saying how much of a victim he is. It's amazing. He says, his drug problem got bad in pro ball, and he started experimenting with drugs in high school, and it's all drugs, and he just has to get off the drugs, and please give him rehab, blah, blah, blah. June 16th, 1989, we're at sentencing. Alums tries to get the judge to sentence him to rehab still. He's got a lawyer. He's doing this, but they all have a counsel that helps him with paperwork, basically. He gets a whole bunch of people to testify. The name of this article...
On his behalf?
Oh, yeah, for the sentencing. One of the articles I read, the name of it was, ex-UCLA star hears praise, then sentence. It's like the funniest thing. It's amazing. All these people, former UCLA coach.
Talk about a roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah.
All these people saying great things about you, and then the judge has something horrific to say.
Former UCLA coach Jim Herrick, which says as silver-haired a statement as possible, said that alums is, quote, a young man prepared to contribute to society. No, he's not. No, he's going to
contribute. He's going to contribute fear to Domino's pizza drivers.
Contribute license plates to fucking from prison to society. That's what he's going to do. What an idiot. So they also get an old UCLA assistant coach, Brad Holland. He said that alums always rose to the occasion in big games. You could always count on him. His mother got on the stand, called him a loving, giving, caring person. But in this also, too, alums has to admit to these robberies because he's trying to get a lower sentence, and you got to plead for mercy, basically.
Tough.
So he says he admits to the robberies, and he says, in their own words, to the judge, begging for mercy. They have a good in their own words begging here.
Oh, God.
Quote, it was a situation where I had no control over it. I never intended to hurt anyone. It was just a means to get money to get drugs. I was out of control. No shit. Yeah. Understatement of the fucking year. I was robbing people every week on a weekly basis. So Judge William R. Hollingsworth actually says he feels a lot of sympathy for him because he knows he has a drug problem, and he says that's what he thinks is wrong with him. He's got some heart here. He compares him to Len Bias, the University of Maryland star who died of a heart attack, and says because this was a couple years later.
Except for the fact that Len had promise.
Yes, but he was just saying how he threw it away.
He was the best high school or college
he was a number one draft pick.
Yeah.
This guy was barely making the
country.
team. He played 4 minutes in the final game of his college career. The judge says, quote, I am convinced that, but not for drugs, Mr. Allums would never have been here. So he thinks he is. So you would imagine he's going to be a little light on him, a little lenient. He feels for him. He knows it's just the drugs. You'd think that, but instead, 9 years. Sentences him to 9 years. You, sir, may fuck off.
For real.
9 years is a good sentence. That's strong.
Steep, yeah.
That's already after 21 months served already, too. You're getting 9. That's
on top of it.
On top of it. And you remember that little cocaine issue he had back in 87?
Yeah.
That thing, if he still has to face trial for that a week later on June 22nd, 1989.
No.
And if he's convicted, he faces another possible 2 years on top of the 9 that he just got. So he's having a bad fucking week, basically. It's
not a good week.
It's not great. June 22nd, the trial begins for the spring 1987 possession charge.
Right.
For $25 worth of crack is what they figured out the amount was.
Yep.
Judge William Hollingsworth Jr. is, again, the judge, the one who just sentenced him.
Shit.
He dismisses the charge.
What?
Yeah, he dismisses it. He total change of heart here in a week. Dismisses the charge. Allums' lawyer, Patrick McGinnis, said that charges were dismissed because, quote, it was such a minor offense.
I was just going to say, $25 and
it's been 2 years.
Right.
And so
and
Judge...
he got 9 years already. The judge is probably like, listen.
Yeah.
Just fucking learn your lesson.
And Judge Hollingsworth also indicated that he may reduce the 9-year sentence that he just gave him last week. Allums had been in jail since June 22nd, 87.
This judge is a sweetheart.
Right. McGinnis, the lawyer again, said Allums has been, quote, a model prisoner while in LA County Jail. Judge Hollingsworth ordered a report from jail authorities due to him on October 23rd of 89. And on his conduct in jail.
Right.
And usually it says when there's a report like that in the article, they talk about when a judge orders that kind of report, it's because he's considering either reducing or completely relinquishing a sentence.
Yeah.
Basically, trying to make sure that dot their I's and cross their T's, that he hasn't been making fucking wine in his toilet bowl before they let him out. So out of all this, now this is like a whirlwind. The district attorney just convicted him. They got all this, and now they're like, hey, let's get a jail thing. Maybe we'll release him. Never mind that drug charge. So district attorney Julie Suleman here is like, hey, slow down, guys.
Can we pump the brakes?
She said of
He's
this...
still a fucking a menace.
He just robbed 14 people. Are you nuts? So she said of this whole debacle, quote, the bottom line is he wielded a screwdriver and robbed people. I don't think 9 years in prison is too harsh of a sentence. It's like, can we fucking...
Yeah.
Can I be the voice of reason here?
I'm sure she said that right in open court, just stood up and was like, listen, guys, I get that you and this
giant guy,
giant man
screwdriver,
are falling in love with each other, and you're really trying to help him. But fucking slow down. We have 14 people whose lives are kind of fucked up right now.
And I would also add that just the act of you acting as your own attorney shows that you don't have intelligence enough to operate in society. You're too stupid.
Yeah.
You are too egotistical and stupid, just like Ted Bundy.
You don't get the gravity of this case.
So, yeah, he's a mess. He goes to jail there. He does about 7 years. It's really, really hard to find information on exact release date. We think he's released in about 96. From there, he starts wandering around. He becomes homeless at this point. He goes from, he's in Austin, Texas at some point, spottily in between being in L.A. also. And most of his things happen in L.A.
Right in the train.
Yeah. And I would have completely lost track of him because he has, like, if you guys just go to Darrell Allums' Wikipedia, it is so, there's like 2 little paragraphs. There's nothing there. They're like, he was convicted of some robberies of pizza men. There's no details. There's no anything. There's no drug charge. There's no earlier robbery. None of this shit exists on here. And this one, I couldn't even find anything on it. I found a 2002 case of his that I'm going to talk about. I found this reading through an appeal from 2007 in a case called The People versus Sean Allen Fletcher, where it's an appeal in a case where there were charges against Sean Allen Fletcher, this guy, whoever he is, in California, for transportation of cocaine. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison. And he's citing, in his appeal, he's citing Darrell Allums case, an Allums case from 2002, because he's trying to say that Fletcher's trying to say the police officer in his case was corrupt and has a history of planting drugs. So he cited a whole bunch of other cases where the person accused, where the perpetrator accused the police officer.
Darrell got arrested for drugs in 2002, and he claimed that the officer planted it on him?
Yeah, so I found, through this appellate case, I found all the details of this guy's case, and no one...
You are a digging son of a bitch.
It's insanity, man. So I found this. There's a 2002 case here where Allums is charging this officer. In the documents, it says Allums was homeless. at this point, and I love the quote.
But real quick, he's like in the Hall of Fame of homeless people. He's got a Wikipedia page.
Yeah,
very few homeless people got a Wikipedia page.
That's a really good point. That is a really good point. That is royalty, homeless royalty right there. So he said that's something status you're going for.
This is my cargo car on this train. No, I believe it's mine, sir. I have a Wikipedia page.
Hobo royalty right here. You kidding me? My bindle's bigger than all of you fuckers. So in these documents, it said that Allums was homeless and, quote, spent time hanging out and panhandling with other homeless persons near the intersection of Wilshire Boulevard and Federal, which I just loved. And spent time hanging out and panhandling. Might as well have said consorting.
Yeah.
So an undercover detective, Detective Saragueta, approaches, quote, Allums and his companions and inquired about some rock cocaine. That's the quote from the court documents. Allums told him that they didn't have any cocaine. I'm sure he wished he fucking did.
Yeah.
It's like, you have no idea.
That'd be great.
How much I really, I wish I was your guy.
All I have is a Wikipedia page.
First of all, who the hell approaches bums for coke?
Yeah.
Drug dealers have homes.
That's silly.
I bet those bums have a bunch of drugs. No, they'd have homes if they had a bunch of drugs to sell. So Saragueta leaves, the detective. He leaves, comes back 20 minutes later and says, hey, can you guys get me do you have any cocaine or marijuana? This is a bunch of homeless people going, dude, get away from me.
Yeah.
Normally people are shooing homeless people away. They're shooing them away like, bro, we're trying to have a talk here.
Right.
We're trying to figure out something.
We're trying to sort out this last garbage can hot dog.
Yeah, Stinky McGee's running for Congress. We need to really get his campaign together. So, they tell him again, we don't have any. We wish we did, trust me.
Right.
So Saragueta returns 25 minutes later now to bother them again, offers Allums $40 to get him some crack. He says, I'll give you $40 if you get me some crack.
Boy.
So, hey, he's a fucking homeless guy.
You just
He's like,
employed me.
all right, fine. So Allums says that I don't have any access to it. There's nobody around here. I don't know anybody that has it right off the bat, but maybe I could make a phone call for you and maybe I could get it. He's just bullshitting the guy to get his money, but he's like, all right, fine. If you're going to bother me and stick money in my hand, fine. So Saragueta goes, he gets change from a parking lot attendant, comes, gives Allums $20 and gives him change to make his call. Allums says, it might be a while. I don't know how long the guy will be, but I'll go get it. Goes to a phone booth, and while he's on the way to the phone booth, because police are watching him, because this is all a setup, he takes the $20 bill and sticks it in a flower bed along the sidewalk. There's out in front of a business. He sticks it in that. He's going to go grab it later, but he doesn't want it on him. So he goes to a phone booth, acts like he's making a call or whatever. He ends up coming back, tells Saragueta, the detective, that he went and saw the crack guy. Allums is like, I saw the crack guy, got that taken care of, and I gave him your 20. Saragueta leaves. That's that. He thinks, I just jacked this guy for the 20. Now I'm going to take the 20 and go do whatever.
Now I'm going to go get a real hot dog.
Yeah, or some crack.
Right.
Or maybe go follow up on that crack call.
Right.
Soon after this, a marked police car pulls up to Allums and says, where's the money? And he says he didn't have the money. He tells him, which he might not have by then. Police take him into custody. Allums is thinking he's getting charged with stealing the guy's $20. Instead, he's charged with possession and sale of cocaine.
What?
Which is insane. So when he was asked if he was in possession of any drugs later on in court, when he was acting as his own homeless, crazy attorney, he said, in their own words, quote, at the scene, there were no drugs. Later on, when I came to court, all of a sudden, there were some drugs. Drugs popped up. He's saying they planted them.
Yeah.
So under cross-examination, he, of course, had to admit to all his robbery convictions and that he's a crazy person that was robbing Domino's. He was getting between $20 and $100 from the Domino's guy. So this is really a hand-to-mouth operation.
Yeah.
There's no forethought here. So now Allums filed a complaint against Saragueta with the LAPD Internal Affairs Division, saying that Saragueta planted evidence and produced the drugs falsely, is how they say it. And so in this appeal, there were several other people claiming the same exact tactic of Saragueta, basically forcing you to do what he asked you to do and then busting you for it, whether you have the drugs or not, saying you did. Whatever. So
Saragueta's an asshole.
So, yeah, he's in this problem. He's homeless. He's representing himself. These drugs are an issue. His mother's crying with the newspaper clipping in his hand. The ex-wife, thank God, got away from him. The one girl's got her bank account wiped out. John Wooden's legacy's fucked up. Sam Gilbert's dead. Sam Gilbert's fucking dead.
There's a stadium full of people with beef farts.
Oh, beef farts. Poor LeBlanc over there has got PTSD from getting a screwdriver stuck in his neck, and I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. I feel so bad for them. But not as bad as the 2 things I could find that were even close to Darrell Allums on the internet. These people. Number 1 is the only other person on the internet that I could find with his name and his spelling, Darrell Allums, Allums. One guy.
Wow.
And he's on Facebook.
That poor guy.
And I couldn't find any of his information. It was all hidden. And it's just a picture of a middle-aged, squatty guy with a bad mustache. Looks like he's about 5'3", and he doesn't look very happy. And that's Darrell Allums.
Because he's got a shit name.
Yeah, and that's why. Because if you search Darrell Allums, you're going to get
like,
the other one.
If you Google me, you don't
can't
even find me.
Yeah, he probably had to shut the Facebook page down. Also, them and D Allums Fabrications Limited. You should have chose a better name for your company. An electrical and electronic manufacturing outfit with 1 to 10 employees in Worcestershire, UK.
Jesus.
So sorry, UK. Again, we apologize for giving you shit.
Sorry about him.
Absolutely. So anyway, so some time goes by. I don't know what happened in that case. There's no information. I found the appellate thing. There's no conclusion. I don't know if he got out of it. I don't know what happened. He got out of it enough to where on November 26, 2011, he wasn't in prison anymore.
Wow.
November 26, 2011, he walks into a Bevmo store. If you don't know what a Bevmo is overseas, different parts of the country, it's a big store that sells wine and booze and shit.
They buy bulk amounts of booze so that they can sell it cheaper.
It's a big booze box, basically, and you go in there and buy
cheap wine. It's a booze
Costco. You buy 8 bottles of wine at a time, like fucking maniacs.
8 bottles of wine, and you get the second one for a nickel.
Yeah, like gluttonous Romans. So he goes into the store at 3212 Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles and begins intimidating and threatening employees with his giant size. He's 300 pounds at this point.
What does he want?
He wants booze.
Yeah.
He steals $350 worth of wine and leaves the store.
That's a shitload of wine.
That's a shitload. He's got big arms, and he can tuck things in his waistband like nobody's business.
Yeah.
So he is in the
got
article.
A holster for wine in his waistband.
And in the article, my wine holster. In the article, they don't even mention who he is. It's in L.A. It's a Santa Monica publication.
What?
They don't mention that he went to UCLA for 4 years, was on a final game team, played for the Mavericks, and was also signed by the Lakers and dismissed right away.
And also was a fucking convicted robber.
None of that. They just say a homeless Santa Monica man. That's it. That's it.
That's
all
what
he's
it. Reduced to. How about fucking search him. Find his Wikipedia page.
Well, he doesn't get... Yeah, he has a Wikipedia page. So anyone over 6'7" should have a Wikipedia page. Let's keep track of him. So that's November 26th. He doesn't get arrested. He gets away.
Yeah.
Smart. He just leave, right? Never come back. Yeah. You especially don't wait a month and on December 27th, come back again.
Oh, my God.
2011, start intimidating employees at the Bevmo. They call 911 because they're like, that's the guy, that's the guy. So Allums...
He's back a month later.
Yeah, he grabs a couple of things and jets out the door. They call the police. The police show up and start searching for him in the area around there because, he's the only guy who's 6'9" with a bunch of booze under his arm. So they find him on Ocean Park Boulevard, arrest him, book him on suspicion of robbery, probation violation. He also had 2 outstanding warrants at that point.
Wow.
Don't know what those were for because these shitty reporters didn't tell me of this crappy Santa Monica patch bullshit, it's called. So
it's a nice neighborhood.
It's nice, yeah. They report like shit. They should be a little more
They're
vigilant.
a little lazy because they got the beach right there.
Absolutely.
Somebody got arrested.
I gotta
go to the beach.
He's very tall. I think he's homeless. Moving on.
I gotta go to the beach.
I gotta go to the beach. Weed will be legal very soon. So he's being held in lieu of $57,500 bail, which is the same amount that Wilson Jr. was arraigned on, which I thought was funny. The Patch article is called. This is what it's called. It's not former UCLA NBA player. It's called, quote, tall robber nabbed for alleged $350 wine theft. Maybe ask why he's so tall. Maybe go, hey, how was that guy so tall? I don't know.
How did that huge man
tall
become
robber.
homeless?
Do your job. It's LA where he played for Christ's
That huge guy should have played basketball.
And that's the last we've heard of him. He's homeless out there in the
wandering
wind.
around.
I looked for all these. I found this too. I mean, I had to dig deep to find that, and that wasn't even, like I said, under basketball or anything else. That was just Darrell Wilbert Allums, and I had to put the age together. That's his middle name and that's his date of birth. Okay, that's him.
And there's only 2 people on Earth named
And we know no one else is named Darrell Allums except for apparently his dad because he's a junior. That's it. Is the only other one. So that's Darrell Allums, and he's a fucking mess, as much as a mess as anybody we've ever covered.
It doesn't get any sloppier than that. His life just...
He's a disaster.
It just went away so fast.
So fast. I've never seen anything like it before.
And he had it all. He had a college career. He could have fucking got some sort of degree.
Had something together.
And then planned life so that just in case basketball doesn't work out. I don't know. Because I'm kind of okay at this.
He even worked your way out of the mailroom.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, you had a job.
I think I'll rob some Targets. I'm going to stick a radio in my waistband.
Got some crack? Jesus.
Holy shit. Right, unbelievable. So that's Darrell Allums.
Done deal.
Anybody hears anything about Darrell Allums, let us know.
Holla.
I'll keep, and I honestly do, I'm an idiot. I do like post research too.
Yeah.
So if I find anything else, I'll let you guys know. Because I did some post research on last week's episode, and I came up with a gem here.
Awesome.
Let's talk about Lee Murray for a moment. I couldn't leave well enough alone with Murray. It was one of those things.
I don't blame you, because that one was so fun.
I felt like there was something missing, like I didn't see everything, and I know I did. I know I combed it. I mean, it was a 2-hour episode, you guys. It was an hour 58. I combed that shit, man. But I didn't get one thing. I didn't get his mailing address. So I found it now.
In fucking Morocco.
So if you would like to write to Lee Murray in Moroccan prison, we have you covered. If you do, words of warning.
Yes.
If you're from the UK, probably don't give him a real mailing address.
Find a P.O. box
probably
or your equivalent.
Just no return address, because he probably will find someone to kill you.
Absolutely.
And don't mention us.
No, please not a word.
Don't mention us. You never know who we are.
Don't even fucking code it.
Don't say
because
crime
he
in
will
sports.
crack that shit.
Yeah. But yeah,
he's smart enough to pull off a 53 million pound heist.
Yeah.
Leave me the fuck out of it.
Leave me out of it. Don't say we know you're not fucking about. Don't do it. It's tempting. I know you.
I've heard about you.
We know our
nothing.
listeners.
Yeah.
You guys are sick bastards, and we love you for it. Believe me, but that is scary.
It's my favorite part about you.
But we don't want to die.
No.
So let me give you this address, though, because if you do want to write him and fuck with him, good God. Or just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But here's the address. You have to write his full name. It's Lee.
Send him biscuits.
Biscuits and little sauce.
Yeah.
It's Lee Brahim, Brahim, as in Mary, Lamrani, Lamran as in Nancy, Murray, Murray,
right.
Murray, and the address is Ecroy, ECROU 46908. And it's Prison Locale de Sal. So it's prison, locale, local with an E on the end, D-E, and Sal like Sale, S-A-L-E. Okay. And that's in Salé, Morocco, S-A-L-E, Morocco. You don't need
a zip code or anything?
I think the zip code is the 46908. Okay. They just have it like that's how they do their addresses. They're backwards.
That's a really easy prison
address. That's
address.
not bad. Yeah, all the other ones, Sally McNeil and Annette, they're like
X and numbers
there's a 45-digit number you have to follow. But
crazy.
That's it, man. That's Lee Murray. That's Darrell Allums.
Let's visit this week in crime with Jose Fernandez.
Yes. One other thing too, I want to announce real quick too. We know we've talked about we're having another podcast that we're adding. That is still in the works. Yeah. We haven't forgot about it, and we haven't we're not even putting it off. We have some possible big
things happening.
We have some things cooking right now.
It's fucking exciting.
It's really exciting. We can't wait to tell you guys, but we're not. It's not 100%
It's a pain in the ass,
nailed
but it's
down,
super exciting.
It's very, very cool, and you guys will be happy for us, hopefully. And so we're gonna announce that kind of with that whole thing, and the second podcast is wrapped up in that. So it's coming. Here it is. Don't worry about it. Let's talk about Jose Fernandez today.
Okay.
Real
Boat
quick.
accident.
We'll do 2 minutes on Fernandez. And we gotta get out of here.
They deitized him. What's the word?
Oh God!
Oh my God! They had such a dedication for him, and
fine man. They
well
all liked
deserved
him. Good teammate,
a man
great
that
player.
Worked so hard.
No problem.
Was it Cuba? It was in Cuba.
Cuba,
right?
yeah, he came
he's
over.
A Cuban.
He's
he
a
worked
hero
so
for
hard
those
in Cuba.
people.
Yeah. He worked so
those
hard in
people.
Cuba.
No, he's a
got
hero
to
to
America,
people,
followed a dream, became a starting pitcher and an ace.
A great one.
Unbelievable ace for the Marlins.
And
he was
then
fantastic.
Disintegrated himself and his two friends. And we find out this week.
Signed autograph balls are washing up on the beach because he was obviously out there with his buddies doing whatever he had to do. Now
we find out why, and they all said, "Oh, he's a great guy," and all this, and he probably is a great guy. And we're not saying he's a 23-year-old kid,
great person to look up to.
And apparently, he also liked to do some coke and drink before he went boating. which
I hate to laugh.
I hate. It's terrible, but
It's not
Jesus fucking Christ,
it's
man.
not him that I'm laughing at.
No, it's the whole culture of everything.
And
of them.
Major League Baseball had this huge. Had they known then what they know now?
That's the thing, and they deitize him, and it's fine. And you know what? It's even fine that he was on cocaine and alcohol. Right. I'm not even upset with that. I'm just upset with he's either a perfect angel, and this is to MLB and to the press, I mean. He's either a perfect angel or he's a drug addict piece of shit that deserved to die in a boat. There's no... You know what? The guy had some problems, and he was pissed off, and he blew off some steam. He went out there, and he fucked up, and it's kind of sad. That's never it. He's perfect. It's so sad. Look at his pregnant girlfriend. They're all angels. Everyone's an angel, or else he's the devil. Holy shit, he's on cocaine. He deserved to explode in the boat. It's nuts.
How about any sport commissioner comes out and says when somebody dies, give a statement. We are terribly sorry to learn of this person's passing. We need to wait for all the facts to come out.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it.
And then we'll talk about it.
Absolutely.
And then when the facts come out that he was clean in the autopsy report...
It doesn't embarrass us,
right,
then it's fine.
Then go ahead and proceed with your whole dedication.
Let's be realistic.
But, I know,
he's in
so
Miami.
hard.
He was on cocaine.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously. He's
course.
boating. He's drinking. Who goes on a boat and doesn't
drink? The season's
drink?
over. He doesn't give a fuck.
God damn it. So anyway, that's Jose Fernandez. We're going to do some shout-outs. We'd just like to tell you guys, please... If you want to help us out, best thing you can do, well, number one you can do is also Patreon. We have a Patreon page, patreon.com/crimeandsports. What you can do on there, you can donate to us, you can give us a few bucks. We have a lot of cool rewards, and honestly, it would really help. It's not free to put the show on for us, and God damn it, I work hard. Jimmie works hard. We really work hard on this thing, so if you want to do that, that's fine. But if not, one thing you can do that's completely free and it helps us out just as much is please give us an iTunes review.
Yes.
5 stars. Tell us your following instructions.
So goddamn important.
It's so big. It pushes us up the ranks here and it gets us sponsors. And by the way, we have a sponsor coming on next week.
It's so cool.
A cool one next week's show.
I got a shipment
Very
from
cool.
them.
Yes,
and I can't wait.
We'll talk all about it next week, but we love it. So please, iTunes reviews, we beg you guys, 5 stars, do your thing. So tell them your following instructions. Give them an inside joke. Also, you can get with us on social media, and also those are the people we're going to shout out in a minute. Social media is on Twitter at Crime and Sports, crimeandsports@gmail.com, facebook.com/crimeandsports. Join up. We have a good time. It's a community in there, man.
Every
we have
week
a good
is so
time.
much fun.
And the listeners are becoming friends with each other now, following each other. They have back and forth, not even involving us. It's great. We love it. So keep that up, guys, and let's give some shout-outs to
Patty Wooten and
listeners.
Jason Fuller. Again, every goddamn
we love
week.
them.
But I love
Patty,
you guys.
Jason Fuller, we love you guys.
Your memes keep me laughing every week. And then our 4 horsemen, obviously. We got to change that, too, because there are so many horsemen.
We need to have,
we have way too
40
many
horsemen.
We have a cavalry.
yeah, I love him. I love you guys so much.
With Wedbetter and Busby and Astoria and Monge.
Yeah, all of them. There's a lot to add.
Yeah, no doubt. And then Cammie Rock is a new person that's tweeting at us. She's terrific. At B Higgins 42. I only say that because it's Chuck U. Farley is his name. And it's
funny.
What's your fucking name? It's probably Brian. Anyway,
probably.
Motor City Sports Talk. Those guys are awesome.
We love you
Detroit,
guys. Yeah, obviously Python
podcast.
Cricket.
Yeah, and Python Cricket for all your cricket needs.
PythonCricket.com for all your cricket bat needs.
Nathan Bland, Chuck U. Farley. I may have fucking wrote something different. Anyway.
That's all right. Gina Nation always. Yeah. Got to throw her out there.
Jessica Purdy, and then somebody
our
super,
new one, Jessica Purdy, who doesn't like cursing but loves our show. Thank you. That's the biggest compliment you can give us. Is I don't
really
like cursing
don't listen
normally
to podcasts that curse, but I'll listen.
You're
to
our
guys.
guilty
That's
pleasure.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's our favorite thing in the world.
Somebody that's very instrumental in the exciting things that are happening is Jimmie Taylor. And
thank you, Jimmie Taylor over at KUPD in Phoenix.
We appreciate you. Chris Fenlin and Jeanette Cozad. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
This week has been so much fun.
Thank you guys, really.
Thanks for loving Lee Murray as much as we did.
We had a blast with it, and we were hoping that you would be as well received as we wanted it to be, because we had so much fun with it. And if you want to get a hold of us personally, obviously, you can do that. Jimmie, you want to give them your social media?
At Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks. And then that's Twitter, Instagram. And that shitty Snapchat.
And I am at Jimmie P is funny. You can find me there, whatever. You don't want to look up my last name. If you want to find it through Facebook, that's fine. Go crazy. I'll be friends with you and we'll have a good time. But do that. Get a hold of us. Guys, for right now, we don't have a network.
Yeah.
We're ourselves. We're two
moment.
guys. For this very moment, we don't have anything. We're 2 guys. We're 2 comics. We're not journalists. We don't have anybody backing us.
2 guys that, goddamn it, we love each other.
We love each other, and we love you guys, and thank you guys so much. The crime and sports movement, please spread the word, guys.
It continues.
And we will be back next week with another scumbag, and every other goddamn week after that. Live.